What went down backstage on Monday Night Raw has done more than just stir the pot. It has ignited a firestorm that's now threatening to engulf the entire WWE landscape. What seemed like just another Monday night quickly turned into an emotionally explosive encounter that peeled back the layers of a family torn apart, not by enemies, but by each other. In a moment caught backstage, full of raw emotion and quiet rage, Jey Uso finally confronted his brother Jey Uso in a scene that felt less like a wrestling promo and more like the breaking point of a long-buried family secret. Jimmy, visibly frustrated and emotionally frayed, didn't come looking for a fight, he came seeking answers. He came with the kind of urgency that only comes when you know your family is slipping away, and you're running out of time to stop it. Jimmy got straight to the point. He looked Jey in the eyes, his voice strained but burning with conviction, and said, "You know we can't let Jacob fight this war alone. Solo's tearing everything apart. Everything we built. Everything we believed in. It's slipping through our fingers." That wasn't just a statement, it was a cry for help from a brother trying to keep what's left of his family from being lost to darkness. Right now, Jacob Fatu has declared open war on Solo Sikoa and the new, savage version of the bloodline that's been unleashed without restraint or remorse. Jacob isn't playing politics. He's not seeking titles or main events. He's fighting for the soul of a family that's been shattered by betrayal, manipulation, and the crumbling shadow of Roman Reigns' fallen empire. And Jimmy knows they're running out of time. That's why he wants Jey by his side, not as a tag team partner, not as a member of some faction, but as his brother. As blood. As someone who still remembers what it meant to have each other's backs no matter how high the stakes got. Jimmy didn't mince words. He made it clear that this battle is no longer about Roman. He said it with a mixture of frustration and sorrow. "You left the bloodline, and I get that. You were hurt. You were done with all the lies and control. But this ain't about Roman no more. This is about family. This is about who we are without all the gold and the fame. This is about our blood, man." Jey stood there, silent, torn. You could see it all in his face, the weight of the past, the scars of betrayal, the trauma of being caught between love and pain. He didn't say yes. He didn't say no. But his silence screamed louder than any promo. There's a storm brewing inside of main event Jey Uso, and the WWE Universe can feel it. Will he rise up and reclaim the identity that made him a household name, not just in the ring but in the hearts of the fans? Or will he keep running, haunted by everything he lost and terrified of losing even more? Jimmy isn't just asking Jey to fight, he's asking him to come home. To stand beside Jacob Fatu and himself in what's quickly becoming the most personal, most brutal war WWE has seen in years. Solo Sikoa isn't waiting. He's already drawing blood, already rewriting the rules. And if Jey doesn't choose a side soon, it might be too late to stop the destruction. This confrontation wasn't just another backstage segment, it was the beginning of something much bigger, something real. The kind of moment that echoes through locker rooms, rattles the foundations of storylines, and changes careers forever. SmackDown next week is shaping up to be more than just a wrestling show. It could become the site of a full-blown tribal war, a battlefield where old alliances will be tested, new loyalties will be forged in fire, and the fate of the Anoa'i legacy will hang in the balance. If Jey Uso shows up, if he stands shoulder to shoulder with Jimmy and Jacob, then Solo's reign of terror may finally face its reckoning. But if he doesn't, if he stays silent, then this civil war could spiral even further into chaos, with no turning back. So stay locked in, because this is more than just entertainment. This is family versus family, blood versus blood, and loyalty versus legacy. Like, comment, and subscribe because this isn't just another chapter in the Bloodline saga. It's the beginning of a reckoning, and the world is watching. What unfolded behind the scenes on Monday Night Raw has sent shockwaves throughout the entire WWE universe, leaving fans and superstars alike questioning what's next for one of the most fractured families in sports entertainment. In an emotionally charged and unexpected confrontation backstage, Jey Uso stepped into the spotlight to directly confront his brother Jey Uso. The air was thick with tension, the kind that only comes when family ties are strained and the stakes are personal. Jimmy didn't hold back. He came with fire in his eyes and a desperate plea in his voice as he demanded not just explanations but loyalty, unity, and a return to what truly matters, family. Looking his brother dead in the eyes, Jimmy said with intensity, "You know we can't just sit back and let Jacob fight this war by himself. Solo's out there tearing the family to pieces. Everything we were built on is falling apart." With Jacob Fatu now leading a direct and brutal rebellion against Solo Sikoa and the dangerous new iteration of the bloodline, Jimmy has realized that this is no longer about following Roman Reigns or playing politics within the faction. It's about stepping up for the people you love before everything is lost. Jimmy made it crystal clear, this fight is no longer about Roman, about thrones, or about power plays. It's about protecting their roots, their blood, their legacy. He looked at Jey and said, "You walked away from the bloodline, I get it. But this ain't about Roman no more. This is about us. This is about our blood. This is about our family." Jey didn't respond with a yes or no. He stood there silent, torn, visibly caught in an emotional storm. You could read the conflict in his eyes, the pain of the past, the burden of betrayal, and the weight of a decision that could change the course of WWE history. Will main event Jey Uso rise once again, not for glory, but to stand side by side with Jimmy and Jacob in a battle to reclaim the soul of their family? Or will he remain on the sidelines, haunted by the ghosts of what once was? Next week's SmackDown is being whispered about as the potential battleground where these lines will finally be drawn in blood. Because if Jey joins Jimmy and Jacob, it won't just be another match, it'll be a war to restore the family's honor. Stay locked in. WWE's most personal civil war is reaching its breaking point. Like, comment, and subscribe for all the latest WWE Backstage exclusives as this generational blood feud unfolds before our eyes. What happened backstage on Monday Night Raw wasn't just another dramatic moment, it was a seismic shift that could alter the course of WWE history. It all started when cameras caught a deeply intense and emotional confrontation between Jimmy Uso and his brother Jey Uso, a moment that wasn't scripted or exaggerated. It was raw, real, and full of unresolved pain. The tension was unbearable as Jimmy approached Jey, not with arrogance or aggression, but with a deep sense of urgency and desperation. He wasn't there to start a fight, he was there to save what's left of a broken family. Jimmy didn't sugarcoat anything. He laid it all on the line, eyes locked on Jey, voice heavy with frustration and heartbreak. "You know we can't let Jacob fight this war alone," Jimmy said. "Solo's tearing everything apart. You see what he's doing out there. This ain't the bloodline we were part."